So we stopped at meta characters. Meta characters are special symbols with unique meanings and functionalities in regex pattern. They help define complex matching rules for specific types of test patterns. Now, these are meta characters that you can use in your regex pattern. Now, the dot is it matches any character except a new line, right? And we treated the carat symbol, when we were discussing about the grouping. Inside a square bracket, it means a operator, but outside the square bracket, it means it has to match the beginning of a string. We are going to treat examples for us to demonstrate all this. So I'm going to move on so that we go through the examples. So this is a dot. You can see I have C dot T. This is a regex pattern. So this will match any character between a single character, not more than one. It can be U, it can be X, it can be anything, it can be alpha. So far, it is a single character is going to match. Like for example, you can see CAT, a single A between C and T, a single U between C and T. It matches, right? However, between this, what's it called? C and T, there is a single O. However, after T, I have TON. Hence, it will not match. If I remove TON and I'm left with COT, then it's going to match. Let us just demonstrate this. Pardon me, please. I have cold and cough. So let me run it. You see, hmm? This is this actually returns true. Interesting. So it doesn't matter. So far, it is. Excuse me, please. So as against what I did here, let me quickly change it. True. So this returns true. So that simply means anything. So far, there's a single character here. If I put another character here, then it will match. That will return false then. Now, however, if I put COT and I put, let's say, put a dollar sign here, we are still going to treat this later. Then this will now return false for this other one. Why? Because this dollar sign simply means if you, yeah, this is it here. It means it matches the end of the string or line. So what that means is that this T, this T must end. It must end the string. In this case, you can see T is the end character, T is the end character, but in this case, I have N. There's something after this, right? So without that dollar symbol, it returns true. So sorry for that typo there. Now the caret matches the beginning of a string, as you can see. H must be at the beginning of that string. You can see in this case here, let me just save this my document. So you can see in this string here, H is the beginning of this string. However, W is the beginning of this string. Therefore, it will not match this. It will match this other one. Let's just quickly demonstrate that for us to be sure of what I typed in there. So, yes, false, and this is true. If I change this to W, right? Yes, truly, it will match this W, but this other ones does not match. So let's run it. You will see it return false, false. But if I change this to that, you will see it matches because it begins with W and ELLO follows after that. So the carat sign, this carat sign, and this dollar sign, they are very important, and they are sometimes called the anchors. Now, if you want, later we will treat quantifier anyway. If you want um, that a user, the length of a user not to be more than let's say 5, and you want that the first character to always be, say, let's say H, and at the end you want the character to be, say, let me just pick a character, um O, and I do dollar sign there. So it means H must begin, O must end the character. But now in this case, you can see it has to be just two characters. So let me just remove. Okay, let me put in back this code. If I remove this one, let's test it on this string. You can see that it returns false, false. Truly, H begins the, okay, let me make it case insensitive. It returns false, false. Yes, H begins, O ends, but I have characters here. Now, if I want to test for this very first one, let me put that any character between A to Z, right? I want any character between A to Z. And okay, let's run it. It still return false. Why? Because this is a single character. A single character must be between H and O. If I remove double L, it should return me true there. So you can see that returns true. Now, if I want to make it that, okay, I want 5 characters. This is 5 characters. I want five characters. I want H to be at the beginning. I want O to be at the end. So that means that H is sacrosanct, O is compulsory. I'm left with 3 characters. If I want to make this one in the middle 3 characters, that is where quantifier comes in. I will now put a quantifier here, and I will state that I want 3 characters. 3. If I run it, the first one should return me true. The second will return false, as you can see on the screen. Why is this one false? Simple. Because the very first character is W, not H. If I change it to capital H, then it should return me true, true. Is there any question?
Yes.
Okay, so I move on. So we still get to quantifier. I just needed to explain that there so that you see how everything, how they are interwoven or related. The pipe symbol is or. It acts as an or operator. So this is saying that cat or a dog, anyone will match. Bird will not match. Let's run it just so for me to be sure of what I typed in there. If I run it, yes, you can see cat is true, dog is true, because the reject says either cat or a dog. Then the bird returns false. False. Let us let me test this one also. If I try run this, yes, it returns true. Remember, the pipe is or. It says that it has to be um hello, then or word. However, it has to end with D in this case, and it has to end with H. Let us do some experimenting. Let's just say hello. Yes, it returns true. Why so? Remember, it is either or this or both. It can be hello word as a complete sentence. It can be just hello, and it can be just say word. If I type word, it should return me true. Right? Is there any question?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's say hello bond word. True. Why so? Because simple. It has to be either this, match either this or this one. If I remove this one, it will not match this one. It will match this one. But the fact is that it will match this and it will return true. Remember the or operator. If a single test is true, then it will return true. If I change this, if I remove just this D and C, you can see it's now false because none of these matches. So I move on. So this is the explanation here. Hello matches hello at the start of the string. Word matches at the end of the string. The pipe combines the two patterns. Now the backslash escapes meta characters and introduces special sequence. For example, as we saw here, that the dot here represents a character. However, if you do backslash dot, it means another thing entirely. So we are trying to escape the meta character. Maybe we want to type in dot. We want dot to be present in the string. So let us just quickly copy this and demonstrate. So remember, the class ends today, so that we can have a jolly good Merry Christmas and New Year ahead. So we run it. So this is saying A dot B. that it must match the dots here, because if I remove this escape, what we are saying is that we must have a character, just a character. Let's run it. Excuse me. So you can see it returns true because at least a character, you have a character here, you have another character here. However, if I do um escape that, it means that I must have a dot. Let's remove these dots and see what's going to give us. You can see the first one is false because there is no dot any longer in that place. But if I do remove the backslash and I type A or any single character, that will return true. You can see this is a single character, so it matches AB here. This is also a single character after A, it matches this one, but it will not match C. Let's even go to the rejects so that we see what I'm talking about in real action. So let's say um, A dot, right? And I have A, B, and A, B, C. You can see that it matches A, B here, matches this A, B, but not C. Even if I do A, U, C, you can see it matches that A, U because this says a character after A. It will match. I hope that is fine. Is there any question?
Yes.
Any question?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I move on. Now, we have the backslash D. This also matches any number digit between 0 and 9. So that simply means that if you want to match a number, you can either use the group 0 to 9 or you use just slash D. Let's demonstrate this. Let's demonstrate this. Let's run it. You can see it matches 1, 2, 3 here. This one. If you want to confirm, let's copy this string and go to the regex 101, paste it there, and just do backslash D. You will see that it matches 1, 2, 3. Because backslash D is saying that match any digits between 0 and 9. And this is a digit between 0 and 9, a digit between 0 and 9. 0 and 9 inclusive anyway. So, but you see that it's not matching ABC because those are not numbers, rather they are alphabets. So, the capital D is don't match any non-digit. Yeah, sorry, don't match any number rather. So it matches a non-digit. So this capital D will match ABC. It will not match 1, 2, 3. If you want to demonstrate it, you just change this to capital D, and you see ABC is matched, and 1, 2, 3 they don't match. Is there any question?
Yeah.
Aha. Don't please bear with me. I'm trying to close this today, if possible. These rejects, because you might need it in your project. So now, in similar manner, the lowercase w matches a word character. We call this set a word character, right? A to Z, capital A to Z, 0 to 9 with underscore. Underscore is inclusive. It's inclusive. The capital W does not match any of this. I think it should be here. Yes. So it will only match at symbol, but it will match ABC because these are character, the word character. 1, 2, 3 is a word character. So it will only match this at here, not any other one. Let us see. Let's copy this and paste in regex 101 and we do capital W. You can see only at symbol is matched. But if you do lowercase, you match ABC 1, 2, 3, but not at symbol. But if I do underscore, it will match underscore. Any question? Any question? Okay, I move on. So this lowercase b means the beginning and or the end of a word, which simply means if you look at this card, it has to this CAT is the boundary. Most of the time I read this backslash b as boundary. No, meaning that the what's it called? It will match only CAT. Let's just quickly demonstrate it so that we see it in action. Because reject is best demonstrated instead of being talked about. Talking about it may not hold water too much. So run it. So you can see CAT is matched and this other CAT is matched. Because it's single one. But if I use match all and I do global here, it should match more than one. Oh, okay, yes, it will return me a collection of CAT 1, 2, and 3. So that is that. If you want to see it, you can return this one and you can now loop through it. Let's say let var variable, let me just use var collection col, so that will return that. So I can use the for in for of rather col. Let me just loop through it and see what is printed out. Console.log x. Let's see what is inside. You can see I have cats. Hold on. It should return me. Uh, okay, it's an iterate so string. Hold on, let me see. Mm, it should return me each of them. Hold on, let me see what I can do here. Excuse me, please. Let's see what this is. What is inside is called me place. Call dot nest dot nest. Let me see what this gives me. Hmm? Oh, okay. Okay, let me remove this one first. Comment this out. I want to see what is this. No, 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 no. Comment just this one out. Hmm. Okay, it's giving me this. It's finished. Really? Hmm. It's giving me the last figure. It should not give me the last figure. It should give me all. It should give me all. This is match all rejects. Yes, test match all rejects. I'm returning it here. Let me remove this one first. It should only give me the value. Yes, it should only give me the value. But it should give me the rest. Because I have three here. It should match one, two, three. This three, ideally. Okay, not to waste my time. So the idea is that where is it? Let me comment it uncomment this back. Okay, remove this stuff. So it's the boundary, the B, backslash B ensures that it matches exactly CAT. CAT. If I put A here, it will match this kata. Let's see. Oh, it's still giving me. Okay, let me remove the all. It's still giving me because that is giving me that stuff. Let me remove this one first. If I run, it should. What? No, 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 no. Oh, now I understand. Sorry. Let me repeat. Don't mind me. Now, this CAT is making sure that it is one word. One word. This is not this is a word, but it's not cat. This is a word, but it's not cat. But this is a word and it's cat. If you look at this index, you can see it's index 9. If you count, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That is the starting position of C. That's why the index is 9. Sorry about that. So if I put a space in there, this will give me 0, index 0, because that's the beginning of that. And you can see index 0. Now, if I now do match, or maybe that's the reason why it wasn't giving what I expected. Let's see, match all. Yes, it's still giving me an iterator, but if I use, let's say, match, it will give me, it should give me cat. Yes, cat. So this is cat and this is cat right there. If I remove this S, it should give me 3 cats. Cat. Is there any question? Is there any question?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Okay, good. So let's move on. What's the time, please? Let me see. Because I don't want to go beyond 9. Okay, it's 5 more minutes, and then I can't finish this thing today. So I'm going to jump, right, to quantifier. Okay, even we are there already. Quantifier. I have explained this quantifier earlier on, right, when I was trying to talk about the count. Now, in quantifier, the quantifier is just saying how many times a character should appear. So this is saying 0 or more occurrences. This one is saying 1 or more occurrences. And this one is saying that 0 or just 1 occurrence. 0 or 1 occurrence. So it's optional. Just like this one too is optional. It can be there, it may not be there. But this one is not optional. At least one must be there. Now this one is saying that you can match as many, maybe let's say 5 occurrences, 10 occurrences, and so on and so forth. This one is saying that at least, whatever value you have here, let's say you have 2 comma, you are saying that that character should appear at least 2 times. It can be more, it can be 1 million, or it must be at least 2. Whereas this other one has a limitation. It says that it must be at least For example, let's say you have 2 and 4 here, 2,4. What you are saying that it must be at least 2 or 3, but maximum of 4. If it is less than 2, it will not match. If it is more than 4, it will not match. Let's just quickly do something on that. Is there any example here? We are this one is self-explanatory. Let me go to the yeah this one. So let's copy. This one is saying that 3 is, which is this and this. It will take out of this 4. Let me just copy this out and go to the ID. Now, if you run it, you see it will match AA, the first one, and this other one. But because it is matched and it's not global here, it will only match this other one to match that other one, which is 0 here. But if I do global, it should match this first one and this one here. That is why I have 2 triple A's here. Is there any question on that? Now, if I do comma, just comma, I'm saying that 3 to any length, 3 to any length. So it's going to match this and match this 04. If that is, if I do all, okay, there's global here already. So let me just run it. You will see I have the first triple A's and the quadruple A's. So remember, the comma is showing the lower limit and the upper limit. If I do 3 to say, no, let me just do 2 to say 3. What I'm saying is that match anything 2 and 3, not 4. So you can see 3, 2, and 3. Is there any question? Any question?
Yes, sir.
No question. Okay. Now these are examples. Maybe you want to match this. Let me just explain here because of our time. This is saying any number, any digit between 0 to 9. Now I am saying that, okay, a digit, but it has to occur 5 times. 5 times. And it has to be the beginning and the end. Let us quickly demonstrate this. In fact, this is even better demonstrated inside the regex 101. When I copy and paste in there, what's this? Let me remove this one first. A number. Okay. Let me remove the dollar sign first. Now, if I have 1, 2 space or 3 that okay, don't let me do let's see. Okay, let me even remove this 5 first. I want us to see, what was that semicolon doing there? So now this is saying match any digit, even if it's just 1 digit. You can type as many digits. You can see that it's saying just match any digit, no matter the quantity, just match it. But if I say, okay, match only 5, you can see that this is not matched, this is not matched, this is not matched, this is not matched, this is not matched. However, look at this. It will match this first 1, 2, 3, this one, that is 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. To match that one, it's going to match the next 5. In fact, it's going to match this 343439. It's going to match it, right? Now, but if you want to be specific that okay, I only want five, I need to say okay, the number must start begin with a digit and it must end what with a digit and the count must be five. You can see that none of this is a match. But if I change this one if to five numbers, you can see now it's a match. If I increase it, it will no longer be a match. So that is the importance of this carat and dollar. Is just to ensure that certain count of digits or alphabet, it can be numeric anyway. It ensures that that count is the only one that will match. So, is there any question? Any question? No. This will not match. This one will not match because this is not a digit, right? It won't match. So this ensures, you can see, ensures the pattern matches the entire string, not just part of it, not a subset of it. So that is what that is doing, right? So let's just quickly move on. I've explained this one range, right? I've explained that. So it's saying that this A must be either 2 or 3 or 4. That is what that is doing. So this will match 2 A's, 3 A's, and 4. No, this is 5 A's. So this will not match because we have 5 A's there. But if it's 4 A's, it's going to match. Now, I want you to note that anytime you have this maybe quantifier after a character, it is that character in question that matters. The order, they are, they are not important as far as the quantifier is concerned. Take for example, this one is saying that it is only the O that can be 2 or 3 or 4, not the G. G can be single one, right? Aha. So this will return true. If I do GO, just GO, it will not match because O must be at least 2. It can be 3 and maximum of what? 4. So I think that's pretty much about it. I wanted to um, demonstrate it using a real life scenario. But do you mind if I continue? Because it's already past 9.
Um,
Should I continue so that we can just close this reject?
uh, so,
You said what?
yeah, that's my-
I cannot hear you.
I said, let me ask my mother first if I can stay.
Oh, okay. Then, Ademola, what about you?
Sorry, what was the question?
I said, should we, sh- should I close for the day or should I continue? Because since it's past 9 already.
I'm fine, because in UK it's only 8 o'clock, so it's not
Yes.
that late.
Yeah, I'm okay. Yes, I'm okay with it. I'm in UK as well.
Okay, so we can continue, right?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Thank you.
thanks.
Because I want to close this rejects because you will need it you in that project. All right. So test. These are methods that you use to test whether um, what the user inputs, whether it is correct. So majorly you use it in what is called validation to validate the user's input. So most of the time, once you define your pattern, right, you have to test that pattern, use that pattern to test whether the input is right or wrong. For example, this pattern is saying that there must be word in the input. And truly, I have word here, hence is returning me true. So this is the most common method that you will use in your in programming. We have others like the exec. Yes, you can also use the exec. The exec will return the first match as an array or null, like this one now. Once you do your regex, your pattern dot exec method, it will return the match word, which is this word, to return it in form of what? An array. So if I now we have been using string methods. If you remember under strings, when we treated string, we talked about the match method, the match all, the replace, the search, the split. These are string methods that you can use regex with them. You can use them to either search for a pattern, you can use it to split, right? Or you can use it to replace, as the case may be. This one is just use cases. Now, if you look at this, let us interpret this together. Let's interpret it together. Let's take it one after the other. Let's break it down. This is, excuse me, please. This is a group, right? This is a group. This is another group here. This is another group right here. Now, let us treat this group. This group is saying we don't want to see any character space. We don't want to see space because remember, inside the square bracket, this character sign means not. It's a not operator. We don't want to see this space. We don't want to see @ symbol. However, any other character apart from this, we want to see. And remember, what is plus? It means that one or more. So what this is testing is just testing everything before this @ sign, this @ symbol is testing this. So I want to see any character apart from space. I don't want to see space. I don't want to see @ symbol in this first part. So remember, one or more, one or more. Now I want to after this test, I want to see @ symbol, which is this one. Compulsory, I must see @ symbol. Then after the @ symbol, I don't want to see any space and @ symbol again. Here, this one here. You can type in any other character, but don't type space. Do not type @ symbol. And after this, I want to see a dot, which is this one. I want to see a dot, which is this one. Then the last group, I want to see any or character apart from space or @ sign. And it must end. This one must end, and this one must start. Let us just let me clear and let me copy this. Let me just copy this so that I can demonstrate that inside that regex 101. Regex 101. Okay. So you can see that there is no match in all this. So let me delete all this. If I do e at r.com, it will match. Hold on. E, one or more. This is saying one or more. Oh, sorry. I went to copy that. Aha. So you can see there's a match. If I put another character here, it's going to match because this plus sign is saying one or more character. However, in this first group, if I type in space, it won't match any longer because it's saying I don't want to see space. If I remove the space, right, and I type art, there's going to be a problem because I said I don't want to see any art symbol before this what's it called, art sign, art symbol, because invariably what I'm saying is that I only want a single, just one art symbol. If I remove this one, then it's going to match. So only one art symbol. That is what I'm expected to have there. If I have a space there, there won't be a match any longer. Because the second part is saying that no space, right? Even this one, if I remove the space here and I create a space here, sorry, not delete, space, it will match. It will not match. So, and that is it, right? That is a simple demonstration of what we are talking about. Let me quickly go to this. Let's quickly demonstrate. I, why is it opening? Okay, so I think it is my system. It's my system. Yes, I knew it. I've clicked 3 times. Just close this one again. Oh, let me even close this. Let me go to where the folder is, and then from there, call it. See, where is the folder again? This one. Uh, let's see. Hold on. Let me just pause it so that I won't. So let me see. Form. Let me see. Form. Let me see this one. No, 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 not this one. Um, I think I have one form somewhere. Is it validation? I should have named this invalidation for easy recognition. Let me see under this. Form 2. Okay, let me create one. Doesn't matter. Let's start afresh. I will quickly create. Let me see this one. Is this a form? No, it's not a form. No, not this one. Okay, let me just create another one here. If I call validation, We call it validation. Validation.html. So let's quickly create one. I will do, let me just say, a p tag. Then inside the p tag, let me just create a span tag. A span. Let me just say user name. Username. Then impute tag. Impute. 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 So let me do type. Type test. Right. And let's run it first. Let's see what we have in there. Let's run it. Okay. Now we have this. Right. So now let's say it is your design that let me just write it out. Let's say in your business policy, you don't want a username, a user to be more than 6 characters, right? Let's start from there. So let's go back to the code. Now I don't want I I want is such that the moment I move away out of this focus, that is on blur. Yes, that's the event. Once I move away from this input, I should be able to determine whether what I input here is correct or not. And how do I demonstrate that? We write something here that, sorry, um, your username does not match the business policy, or there will be a red background around the field, right? So now let us see. Let's just quickly write what's it called, a style inputs. I can either do let's say, how do I want to approach this? Add a class border. Let me use my border so that it won't collide with any other border. My border. So border, I want it 1 pixel. No, let's say 2 pixel, solid and red. If I push this class in here, let's see what I will have here. No, what's wrong? Something is wrong. Undo. Copy. Oh, look at where I pasted it. Copy. It should be inside that place. All right. So you can see it's red now, right? Good. So that means that we are going to create our script tag where we will write our logic, our program. Are you following me? Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Good. So I'm going to remove this this class, I don't need the class there. My form should look normal. So I want to now write my logic. I will say first, I will define my pattern. So let's say const pattern. Um, no, let me use the right word. Right naming convention. This user validates username. Yes, validates user. Yes, that's better. So I will use my regex, make it case insensitive. So now I want to see how many characters. We said 6 characters. So let's see A to Z, right? I want to see any character A to Z, and I want to see 5. 6 rather, not 5. Are you following? Is there any question in what I just typed now?
Sorry.
You said?
No, sir, no question.
Okay, so you are getting it right?
Yes, sir.
Good. So this is my pattern. I want to make sure that there are 6 characters inside the username. So I will now say if I will need to test this. Remember that test method. I will test it with an input, right? And this input is coming from where? From what the user types in right there. So that means I need to capture the value of what the user is typing there. So let's do that first. Document dot get. No, let me use query selector. Or should I? Okay, let me use ID. Let me give this an ID of user input. So I will use document dot get element by ID, which is user input right here. Right. So I've latched on this element. So so I'm trying to get its value. So get the value out. Let me see whether I can. Okay, I need to create a function. Okay, let me create a variable for that. Let user input. So whatever value is that the user is inputting here is being captured right here, right? So once it captures, right, then and I move away from the text box, I should be able to alert. So let me create a function. I will need to comment this one out first because I need to test. You need to test, always test whether you can capture the data. So I'm going to write a function. Um, let me call it data capture. Data capture, and let me just alert this input, user input. I want to see this input. So this is the function. So now when I get out of this what's it called, of this input on blur, this event, I will call data capture. I will call that function. So let me refresh. If I come here, type Joshua. If I get out, yeah, now you see it's not capturing it because I'm not seeing anything here. So why? Let's look at it. Why is it not capturing? Is the question. Oh, okay. It should be inside the function. So let's go back. Refresh. Joshua. If I step out, yes, now it's capturing. So now I'm doing this in afresh in your presence. The purpose is for you, number one, to see how my line of thought and to see errors and how I kind of preclude the errors or circumvent the errors, right? So please pay attention very well. Now, in the first place, when when I was capturing this input outside the function, why why is it that I couldn't capture the let me take it out back. Why is it that I could not capture the data here? Why is it? See, why is it that it's empty? I will explain to you. And these are the questions I expect from you. Now, why is it that we couldn't capture it? Now, if you remember, I told you that JavaScript or the compiler or the interpreter, as the case may be, interprets your line of code right from the beginning, excuse me, to the end. To the end. So that simply means that the moment I load or run this program, the interpreter will start from here, interpret this, interpret, everything, interpret. It will get to this level. At this point, the content of that input is empty. It was after everything has been loaded, this page, after everything has been loaded, that is when I could see this. Let me just refresh. Let me just refresh it. Now, the moment I refresh the whole program, this whole program here has been rerun, right? And at that point in time, when the program ran, this input box was still empty, right? So it has gone from the top to the bottom. And because the text box was empty at that point in time, it will capture nothing. However, if you take this back out of here and put it inside the function, remember that a function will not run until it is called. And at what point am I calling this function? I'm calling this function at the point I lose focus out of that text box. That is where I'm calling it. Right? So it is when the focus is lost, that is when this function is called. And when this function is called, at that point in time, I must have typed in something here, like Joshua. I must have typed in something here. Let me type in Matt or Matthew, for example. I must have typed in something there, and the moment I lose focus on that, it will Now call that function. So at that point in time, I already have content inside the text box. So that will now be captured and stored inside this variable. Then I am alerting it. Is there any question?
Answer.
It is well understood. Good. Joshua, any question, please?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. So let me clear this board so that we can continue what we are doing. So that means I am able to capture my data. So I do not need this other line again, because that line, the purpose is for me to test whether I am able to capture that data. So now, since I'm able to capture the data, I need to test whether what I intend is my pattern is correct. So I need to now test. Let me uncomment this guy. Uncomment. So I need to test. Let me take this guy out of here. So I need to test this input against my pattern. Now, if this passes, it will return true. Yes or no? And once this is true, it will come into this code block here. So let me just alert. Let me alert true. Else, if it is not true, else, let me alert. Let me alert false in string. I want a string, not boolean. String. What's wrong with you? So I am now testing this input against my pattern, right? So I want to know whether I am able to get my desired goal. So if I go back to the browser, refresh. Now, if I type in Joshua, how many characters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I get out, it say true. Why? Because I have said that I want 6 characters, right? Let me type Joshua Matthew, for example, and I get out. It's saying true. Why? Because it is counting this first one and it's saying true. If I remove Joshua and I say Joe Matthew, it will still return true because it's counting the first 6. This first 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's counting that first 6. And because it can see 6 characters, it will return true. But that is not my desired output. That is not what I want. I only want, I don't want more than 6 characters. And that is where the caret comes in. Caret says it must begin with with an alphabet, and also it must end with an alphabet. At the same time, it must be 6, the dollar sign. If I run this now, say Joshua, it gives me true. If I add a single character, Joshua W, you can see now it is false. It's saying no, it's not matching the pattern, the design pattern. So now I need, since I can now test I will now remove, I don't know, do not need this alert again, right? I will now apply a class to my input. When it is error, let me just say my border error. Let's say error. Let me add this one to error. If I if it is correct now, I can do um valid, my border valid, and this I want to be green, right? When it's validated, it should be green. If not, it should be red. So when it is validated, then I need to add a class to this my input, and that is where I will call this again, this document.getElement by ID. Right there, I will say class name. I want to add a class to that. And what is that class? I want my valid. That is when it is valid. So add that border. However, if it is not valid, change it to my border error. So if I go now, refresh, if I just click out, you can see the border is red. It shows no, you need to fill in that input correctly. If I type in taller and I get out, you can see it's still saying no, it's not correct. If I say Schwarzenegger, is it double G or no? You can see it's still saying red. However, if I say Joshua, now I am green to go, validated. If I add any other character there, it will say no, I only want 6 characters. So you can see how to validate the user input. You can test it and make sure that the user input the right data there. So most of the time, maybe you have visited some site, you will see some message, maybe a message here saying that because if it is just showing red, the user will not understand why the error, the reason for the error. So there should be a message here that says that your username must be exactly 6 characters, not more than 6, not less than 6, exactly 6 characters. Now, if I say Josh 23 and I get out, it's saying no, it's not valid. Why? Because I did not include number inside this. If I include 0 to 9 range, and I repeat again, Joshua 2, 3, it's going to match. It's going to match, as you can see. But it all depends on the policy, your business logic, or the company policy regarding that, whatever. So this is how you apply regular expression. You use it to validate the user input, to make sure, or to bias or force users to input the right data. Is there any question before we call it today? Joshua, is there any question?
No.
Ademola, is there any question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, question, all right. What's
No,
the
sir, no,
question? You
no
said?
question. No question. So
Okay, 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 no
I haven't
question.
said it. So,
Okay, no question. All right. So it is safe to call it a day. Now, please, excuse me. So sorry. So now, um, we are shutting down for Christmas and New Year. And as earlier announced, I said, if where is the calendar now? Come on. Ha. As earlier announced, your deadline to turn in your project is 31st of December 2024. So if by at this time or this day you've completed your project, please send a message on the group that you want to present your project. If I do not see any message, I will take it that you have not completed your project, and hence there won't be class. And after 31st, Dr. Bamitale will be the one to decide whether time should be given to you to present or not. Because it is most likely another set of students will be coming in next year. And that does not stop you from joining that new set. It doesn't stop you. If you know you still lack in one area or the other, you are free to join the new set. However, we are starting all over again from HTML, CSS, JavaScript. If that set is serious, what do I mean by serious? Doing assignments on time, submitting on time, attending class on time, then we will be able to cover the back end. I will be able, because it is all a function of your availability. It is it's painful to me anyway that I could not take you through the back end to the database, because that is the full that will make you to be a full stack developer. And if you want, if you know that you want to build a career in this path, it is better you take it serious. It is even more highly demanded in your environment. In your environment, it is highly demanded. For you to confirm what I'm saying, you can go to Indeed. Indeed is a job website where people apply for jobs. You can go to Indeed. I think there's something another one called Glassdoor, if I'm not mistaken. There's so many job sites. Just go and Google full stack developer. What are their duties? Job description, salaries, average salaries in a year. Just Google it. You will see, everything is there. You will see. All right. Thank you so much. I wish you a Merry Christmas ahead in advance and Happy New Year.
Have a Merry Christmas,
All
Happy.
right. Thank you. Merry Christmas. My regards to your mom, Joshua. Tell her I say Merry Christmas in advance and Happy New Year.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you pass my message across.
Yeah.
Oh, madam.
Oh no, she's not here. She
Okay,
said,
okay,
"Mm,
okay.
mm,
She's not there.
mm."
Okay. All right. So pass my message to her. All right, thank you. See you on hopefully 31st December by His grace. God bless you all.
Uh, God bless you, son. I wish you Merry Christmas.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, mother.
Um,